Hey family, it's me, the Alpha Empath. So, Summer Alicia just posted within our group, and her post was something like there was a woman that had a newborn baby, and her father came and took the baby and took a picture of the baby and posted the baby on Facebook after the daughter had told him, do not do that. And Summer wanted to know, why do family members think that it's okay to break your boundaries? Now, now, if you've been in my classes, you know that I have a different understanding of what is a boundary and what is an insecurity. So the way that I'm going to help you to understand this, Summer, is I'm going to give you my own personal story. And hopefully my baby boy ain't going to ever listen to this because he might get his little feelings hurt. But baby, I love you, Marcus. Okay, so when I was 15, I had my first son. My son was Marcus. Now, this was my first time giving birth. And you know when you push your babies out and your vagina ain't really that big and it didn't open up all the way or something like that, and they come out with that cone head? Yeah, so he had this cone head, and because it was a hard delivery, they had to take these forceps. So they put these forceps on each side of his face and had to pull him out. So when he came out, he had this cone head, and then he had the marks and the bruises of these forceps on his face, and he was swollen. I'll be honest with you guys. That was my baby, but he looked like a deformed monkey, but it was still my motherfucking baby, okay? Now, everybody wanted to see him. Everybody wanted to see him, right? So, but I didn't want nobody to see him. And I told people, don't come to my goddamn house trying to take no goddamn pictures of my baby because I just didn't want them. He just didn't need no pictures taken. Now, here's the truth. Here's the truth, okay? I was 15 and pregnant, but the father of my child also had another young lady pregnant. And me and that woman, we were 2 weeks apart in delivery. Okay, and she had her son first, and everybody saw her son, and it was this fat, chunky, beautiful looking little baby. This little baby was absolutely beautiful. So then when my baby came out, I was like, they gonna see my baby, and then they gonna look at her baby, and they gonna think her baby is prettier. So I don't want nobody seeing my baby because I don't want the comparison. I'm going to wait until my son grows into his looks, because I know how I look and I know how his daddy looks. So I know eventually his face was going to catch up with his body. I knew that was going to happen. So my plan was, let's just keep him secret, because secretly, I don't really think he's as handsome as this other baby. And again, Marcus, I love you, baby, and I'm so sorry. And you are such a handsome young man right now. But when you first came out, boy, you was hurt. You was hurt, but mommy still loved you, okay? So while I was resting, my mother, after I told her vehemently, don't be putting Marcus in this goddamn stroller trying to show him off to my baby daddy's mama. Her name was Mommy. And I didn't want her to see my son because I knew she was going to say some foul ass shit to upset me. And my mother took Marcus over to Mommy's house and showed my son to his grandmother on his father's side, his paternal grandmother. And when I awakened from my nap, she came back to the house and she told me, hey, Tiffany, I went and showed, Mommy was asking me about her grandson, so I took him over there while you were sleeping to let him see his grandmother. And I had a fit. I had a fucking fit. I am not kidding you. I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight my mama. I wanted to fight my me. I wanted to fight everybody. Because, and I made it about, Mama, I told you I didn't want my baby going over there to nobody's house. I told you my baby is too young to be going to different people's house. He could get colic. He could get an infection. I made a big fucking to-do. But the truth is, the reason why I was making a big to-do is because I was trying to protect my insecurity. That's what it was really about. My insecurity was, because I have always been competitive, and this is just me being honest. My insecurity was the other baby mama's child was prettier than my child, and the father of my child was going to like her child more. So I hid my baby. That was some dumbass shit. And then I tried to make everybody protect my insecurity. I tried to convince my mother of all the reasons why she couldn't rejoice as a new grandmother. I didn't want to tell her my true insecurity. I just told her, this is my motherfucking child and respect my boundaries because you are not the parent. And when I think about that was really not a great way to be. That was not a great way to be because I was 15 and I was going to need my mother's help. But because I threw such a fucking tantrum trying to protect my insecurity, it made my mother leery about even dealing with Marcus because she didn't understand the level of my tantrum. And I was too embarrassed to tell her what the real insecurity was. And to be honest with you, I hadn't really done my homework to know what the insecurity was. It was some years later until I finally figured out I was overcompensating because I was insecure. So Summer, I hope that makes sense to you. Remember, insecurities, they're always things that are based in fear. They're always things that are based in fear. And that's how you know it's a goddamn insecurity. A boundary is something that makes you love yourself better and makes you love other people better. A boundary is a naturally occurring formation in nature that helps support more life of the ecosystem. So when we establish boundaries within ourselves, those boundaries should do the same thing as in nature. Remember, we are part of nature. I know that we want to say that we are so different, but we are not. We are a part of nature. And if I create a river in my life, this is a naturally occurring boundary that helps me support a better ecosystem, okay? It's not keeping people out, but insecurities keep people out. And I still have insecurities. We all have insecurities. But when dealing with the child, I find it kind of unfair. I find it kind of unfair to want the village to support you and your child, but the village cannot rejoice with you while you have your child. Now, I don't know what excuse me, you guys, my phone was ringing, but I don't know what the backstory was with this issue. But if you want your pawpaw, and to be honest with you, I'm really happy that this is a black baby. I'm really happy that there is a grandfather that's even fucking around. I really, really am. If he is rejoicing in the birth of this child, now I can understand if this is like Blue Ivy or some shit. This is Beyonce's baby and the paparazzi is all on your ass and some shit. I get it. There is a danger, a serious danger involved. So no, don't post that baby on Facebook. But if this is like an insecurity, we might want to question that. And in that regard, remember, with your family, save your grace for your family. But if Pawpaw ain't acting like family anyway, get rid of his ass, revoke his grandpa privileges, and call it a day. I love you, and I hope that helps you expand your consciousness. Bye-bye, you guys.